Good evening, everybody. Bonsoir tout le monde. Merci d'être ici avec nous ce soir. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We're here for our regular council meeting for January 22nd, 2024. I'm joined at the front here with my councilors, Elizabeth Hewlin, Colleen Feeney, Maria Torres, and Lauren Small-Pennefather. As well, I have with me our DG, notre directrice générale, Maître Raphaël Destasio, et notre greffier, our town clerk, Maître Claude Gilbert. So, si je peux avoir quelqu'un pour proposer l'ouverture de la séance, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, Monsieur le maire, je propose d'ouvrir la séance.
Merci, la conseillère Fini. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, je l'appuie.
Merci, la conseillère Yulin. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Oui. Adoption de l'ordre du jour, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, Monsieur le maire. Je propose d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la séance ordinaire 22 janvier 2022, 2024, tel que présenté.
Merci, la conseillère Yulin. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, je l'appuie.
Merci, la conseillère Small-Pennefather. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Merci. L'approbation des procès verbaux.
Je propose d'approuver les procès-verbaux des séances du conseil tenues aux dates suivantes. Séance spéciale du 18 décembre 2023, séance ordinaire du 18 décembre 2023, séance spéciale du 9 janvier 2024.
Merci, la conseillère Small-Pennefather. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît.
Je l'appuie.
Merci, la conseillère Torres. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Parfait, merci. We'll move right. There's nothing under correspondence, no report from the mayor this evening. We're moving right to councilors' reports, starting with seat number 4, reporting on matters pertaining to urban planning. Councillor Maria Torres, please.
Yes, thank you. Bonsoir à tous. This time of the year, between the months of January and March, is one of the periods where the Urban Planning Department receives the least amount of applications for permits. Just to give you an example, so far in January, we have only received 6 applications for new permits. In addition, there were only 3 files reviewed during the last Planning Advisory Committee meeting. This doesn't mean the department is not busy. On the contrary, the fact that the volume of applications during this time of the year is lower than the rest of the year allows the Inspector of Urban Planning to continue with inspections of work undertaken on properties. This is an area in the department where they were behind. However, this is rapidly changing. It is also the perfect time to answer questions and to help residents with future projects. For those of you who are planning to do any type of work on your property, I would like to advise you to start asking questions related to permits and authorizations before the construction season is upon us. You can always contact the Urban Planning Department for all necessary information. You can also consult the town's website, where you will find a wealth of information, such as when the permit is required or not, how to apply for it, what are the fees, does the project have to be reviewed by PACT, what is the SBIP, municipal and zoning by law, and so on. In addition to the permits issued this month, there were 3 notices sent, 1 for maintenance of the property and 2 for non-compliant work. La prochaine réunion du Comité consultatif d'urbanisme, CCU, aura lieu le 21 février et la date limite pour soumettre les dossiers complets au CCU est le 7 février. The next meeting for PAC is on the 21st of February, and the deadline to submit a complete file is February the 7th. C'est tout pour moi ce soir. Merci et bonne soirée.
Merci, Councillor Torres. Thank you, Councillor Torres. Reporting from seat number 1 on matters pertaining to public security, Councillor Lauren Small-Pennefather, please.
Bonjour, merci Monsieur le maire. Bonjour à tous et tous. Bienvenue ce soir. So it's going to be a short report, and most of it's going to be with regards to making sure your doors on your vehicles and in your homes are continued to be locked. There are some individuals in close proximity, actually, that are responsible for a number of break-ins that are going on in the town. The police are aware. They're working with public security as well to make sure these individuals are apprehended. Please be very cautious about making sure your doors are locked. Even if you think they're locked, if you have a remote, check your doors. They check until they find a door that's open. The same goes for your homes as well. Make sure that your front doors are locked as well. There have been 2 cases where somebody has gone into someone else's house because the doors have been unlocked. People leave their garage remotes inside of their cars. So if someone's able to get into your car, they can get into your garage, they can get into your home as well. Donc, s'assurer d'être prudente par rapport des vols maintenant pour les voitures, à l'intérieur des voitures, des contenus de voitures. S'assurer que vos portes sont barrées, les portes de vos maisons sont barrées. C'est très facile d'avoir accès si vous avez laissé votre monnaie dans la voiture pour accéder au garage aussi, pour accéder aussi à vos maisons. Donc, juste s'assurer d'être prudente. With regards to snow removals, our PSOs have been part of the snow removal operations that you know are going on. So if you see a orange sign, no parking between 6:30, sorry, I just lost my place in my report. 6:30 to, there's 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. to make sure. We've had to tow about 13 cars so far during snow clearing, and they're quite expensive, though. Tickets are almost $200, so please make sure not to park where you see an orange sign. And of course, it impedes the snow removal operation. If there's a car parked there, they can't get access to the road, so just make it a lot easier for Public Works to be able to do the snow removal. And with regards to, again, with regards to the parking tolerances as well, and over the holidays, PSOs were also asked to look on a number of homes. And I think some of you might be aware, if you call public security, they're able to make sure, well, not make sure, work in the neighborhood just to keep an eye out on your home if you're away for the holidays. So if you're away for the holidays, don't hesitate to reach out to public security. They do offer that service. And very interestingly enough, everybody knows that a number of cars are being stolen across North America that show up in all other places of the world. And very interesting, on December 18th, there was a car parked for 3 days in the town, and when PSO verified with the RCMP stolen vehicle registry, they did find that the vehicle was stolen and it was actually returned to the owner. It was a 2019 Dodge Ram. So the system works when it can, and luckily that person had their vehicle returned to them, but these are very, very difficult times, and like I said, the stolen property is an issue, so please make sure not to leave any valuables in your vehicles either. If somebody does access it, don't leave any information about your personal information inside your vehicle, including insurance cards or other that can cause an issue with identity theft. But they're getting more sophisticated. If you have somebody coming to your door, like I did today, we had somebody checking with regards to see if there were any gas leaks. I would say Gaz Metro, but it's no longer Gaz Metro, it's Inagir. I did ask to see identification to make sure that the person was who they were, even though she had a uniform and she had a truck. Just make sure you take the proper precautions, and then I allowed her entry into my home. So don't be afraid to ask those important questions, but it's important to remain vigilant. Donc, merci beaucoup. C'est tout pour ce soir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Small-Pennefather. Reporting from seat number 2 on matters pertaining to Public Works, Communication and the Environment, Councillor Elizabeth Yulin.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all. So Public Works has been very busy this month with 3 snow events in the span of a week. And I'll take this opportunity to remind residents how important it is for efficiency of snow operations to respect all the signage, especially the temporary orange no parking signs. Several cars had to be towed this month, and that really slows us down, costing us time and as a consequence money. In that same vein, it's also critical that residents park their vehicles in their driveways whenever possible during and immediately after a snowfall. This allows our crews to clear the sidewalks and the roadways much more efficiently. We've all seen it when the plows have to navigate around car after car, leaving the street only half cleaned. This is problematic for drivers, pedestrians, and our own crews. I know it may be convenient for you to leave your car on the street to allow the contractor to plow your driveway, but please don't pull it out early and leave it there. Your driveway may get cleaned, but then we all have to pay the price for that in the end, with slower removal. I mentioned this last month, but I'm going to say it again. You may also have noticed that there are sometimes sections of sidewalk that go uncleared. And 99% of the time, this is due to private contractors pulling snow out of driveways and then blocking the sidewalk with compacted snow mounds. Our sidewalk tractors are simply unable to plow through these mounds and can leave whole sections of that sidewalk impassable for days. So please ensure that you or your contractor clear these blocked sidewalk areas so our team can clear the area for pedestrians. Of interest in the environmental portfolio this month, Council is tabling an amended waste management bylaw tonight. If you remember, this bylaw was to be adopted late last year, but was postponed to make refinements. As a reminder, this bylaw will reinforce the current limit on the size of garbage bins allowed, that is 240 liters for a single-family household, and will prohibit the use of garbage bags outside the bins. Most of these key provisions will only go into force on May 1st to give residents time to become informed and to adapt to the new measures. Information will be provided via our e-bulletin, website, and in the Informer. The Environmental Action Committee, or EAC, has been working on various projects, including the Eco Recognition Project for town merchants, increasing biodiversity in town, studying bike routes, and various waste reduction and circular economy events. Au cours des derniers mois, le service de communication collaborait avec les autres services pour promouvoir, entre autres, les événements communautaires, les événements à venir à l'appui de nouveaux centres sportifs et récréatifs et les entraves routières. Le service a également travaillé sur l'amélioration du site web, la mise à jour du contenu, le développement d'une étiquette et la planification de la stratégie de communication pour l'année 2024. Finally, I'd like to end by letting residents know that February 13th is officially Wear Red Day. This is an initiative to remind citizens that heart disease is on the rise and is the leading cause of death for women worldwide. So by wearing red that day, you'll be calling attention to this very important and often off the radar lethal disease. Thanks very much. That's it for me. I'll be pleased to answer your questions during question period.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yulin. Reporting from seat number 3 on matters pertaining to finance, recreation, and topics related to the status of an age-friendly municipality, Councillor Colleen Feeney.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everybody. I'll start off with the Finance Department. Your property tax bills will be mailed out tomorrow, January 23rd. The first installment is due February the 22nd, and the second is due May the 23rd. And also for residents wishing to renew their parking and dog licenses, if you have not done so, I encourage you to do so as soon as possible to avoid fines. Please complete the online form and follow the procedures described on the website. Later in the meeting, you will see that we are going to pass disbursements of $837,522 for this past month. I always like to let you know where your tax money has gone. So this past month, it's no surprise, as Elizabeth, as Councillor Yulin has said, there's been many snow removals over the past month. So Public Works made up about 35% actually of that $837,000 or $290,000, and of that, $73,000 was for snow clearing, $43,000 was for garbage, recycling and compost. Vehicles was another $36,000, and then salt, asphalt, and stone another $25,000. The other capital expenditures took up for about 24% of that amount, or $201,000, and in that we had $101,000 for vehicles. This was a new salt box of $85,000 and equipment for our new public security officer's car, which was sirens and light standards, etc. And also $75,000 went to our new bills related to our new recreation center, $36,000 for the architect, and $35,000 for the project management, and a small amount, about $4,000 for soil decontamination. And finally, another 25% of that total amount went to deductions at source, benefits, and utilities. So that was about $220,000. So other amounts throughout the departments were very kind of minimal. Perhaps the only one that was slightly larger was the IT for the administration, and that was about $19,000. I'll move on now to recreation and culture. We have a few special events coming up, and actually our special events are going to be fundraising events as well for the new Sports and Recreation Center. So as well as being enjoyable evenings, you can help contribute to the new Recreation Center this way. So one of them is going to be something new. It's going to be a jam night at the Town Hall at 7:30 on February the 9th. It's an open mic experience, so you can showcase your musical talents, bring your instrument, and share your passion, whether you play guitar, piano, drums, vocals, or another instrument. And as well, you can meet up with other musicians and admire local talent. So please call the community center to register, or you can also register online on Amelia. The fee is very nominal, even though it's a fundraiser, so you can always give more. It's $5 or $10 at the door. Il y a un levée de fonds pour le nouveau centre sportif et récréatif. C'est une expérience open mic, soirée jam, vendredi le 9 février à l'Hôtel de Ville à 19h30. Inscrivez-vous sur Amelia ou appelez le centre communautaire. And then, this is a month and a bit in advance, but I know these tickets go fast. Sunday, March the 24th, there's a Cottontail Party, which is an Easter egg hunt, crafts, and show. And that's also at the Montreal-Ouest Town Hall at 2 p.m. And you can get tickets online, or you can call the community center. Another thing that's very popular is going to be the March Break Camp at the community center from March 4th to the 8th. Registration is open to residents and non-residents. Once again, you can sign up on Amelia or call the community center, 514-484-6186. We will also be offering 2 Red Cross courses, one for babysitting, which is geared to 11 years and plus on February the 17th, and a Stay Safe one geared to from 9 to 13-year-olds on February the 18th. As you have seen, the weather has been very up and down this winter, so it's been very difficult to get our outdoor skating rinks going. I am happy to say, however, that we do have Davies Park and Strathern Park now open for skating. And actually, I did my little tour before, and there was people skating on both of them. The rinks at George Booth are not yet open, and also the rinks at, the one rink, the hockey rink at George Booth is not open, and the 2 rinks at Rugby Park are not open either. They are working on them. You can always find out the conditions of the rink by looking online on our website. L'état des patinoires est indiqué sur le site web de la ville. Les deux patinoires extérieures qui se trouvent à Park Strathern et Park Davies sont maintenant ouvertes. The Artist Showcase. The theme for 2024 Winter Showcase is Emotions Unleashed, and residents of Montreal-West can submit their artwork on the website by February the 12th, and it will be displayed on the website as well as here in the music room in Town Hall. I know I've had several inquiries about summer camp. So we will be taking the registration for summer camp as of February the 12th, and residents of Montreal-West can register as of 9 a.m. on February the 12th. Residents of Côte St. Luc and Hampstead can register as of February 13th. And for all other residents, it'll be February the 14th at 9 a.m. Le lancement des inscriptions pour le camp d'été est lundi 12 février à 9h. And I know people are wondering, where is that camp going to be? We are waiting absolutely for finalization, but we have been in talks. The plan is to be at Royal West Academy with perhaps swimming in Côte St. Luc, but we are waiting final details for that, so we will not... we will only make them public when we have the final word and approvals from those organizations. So they'll be announced later. The day camp will run from June the 25th till August the 16th, with no camp on June the 24th or July 1st. As well, the Recreation Department is finalizing details for a swim team to continue this summer at another municipal pool, and details will be given out in a few weeks. And on the seniors portfolio, there's lots of ongoing activities, but we have a few special ones this month as well. Something that a lot of people, seniors and others, might be interested in is what we call Tea and Talk, and that's at the Community Center this Wednesday, the 24th. And it's on bone health. It's called Bone Health 101. It's a free event given by Osteoporosis Canada. What you need to know about your bone health. Again, that's Wednesday at 1:30 at the Community Center. There'll be a Valentine's Day brunch on Wednesday the 14th at the Community Center. That you have to sign up for. It's $15 for members. And there's also a webinar put on by Seniors Action Quebec that you have to sign up for. And that will be on Tuesday, January the 30th. And the question that they're asking is, do I still need this medication? So that could be an interesting one for seniors and others as well. So again, if you missed any of these details, they will be there is information available at the Community Center on all of these events. So merci beaucoup. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them later in the meeting, or you can send me an email. Merci.
Thank you very much, Councillor Feeney. We're going to now move to question period. So at our first question period, we answer questions from the floor for a maximum of 25 minutes. We limit it to 2 questions per person, a short preamble, your first question, and a follow-up question if you'd like. And we remind you that it's a question period, not a debate period. After questions from the floor, we answer questions from residents that had been submitted online until 2 p.m. today on any topic. The same rule applies, 25 minutes total and 2 questions per person maximum. In the second question period, we take questions pertaining to the agenda submitted via our website during this meeting. We limit it to 10 minutes from the floor and 10 minutes for online questions. So please go ahead, state your name and your address for the file, and then go ahead and ask your questions, Mr. Knowles.
Harold Knowles, 256 Percival. My question is about fireplaces. So I'm contemplating improving my fireplace, putting an insert perhaps and a lining. But I don't want to do all this if the rules on fireplaces gets changed. So I know in the city proper in Montreal, you can't have it, right? So is Montreal-Ouest going to be following that sort of same pathway, or is there a decision? It's been talked about for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Harold. So we at Council haven't really looked at that yet, but we will be doing so. So I would suggest if you're looking to get an insert, the inserts that are being sold now are the ones that are
yeah, I'm not sure
legal in Montreal.
An insert may not work with my fireplace just because of the shape. So if I just want to run it as a regular fireplace, get glass doors, put the lining in and all that, it's still very expensive, but I don't want to do all that.
No, no, of course not.
Changes
right, sure. So if we looked at any guideline, it would be the same one that's being used in basically all the other towns, and that's Montreal's guideline, which is the limit of emissions that you're able to have. And any place that you go to purchase any fireplace now is going to be using those.
Okay, so it's already sort of in
yeah, because once Montreal goes that way, you know, you're not going to be able to buy anything that's not that
even just like the glass doors.
Well, I don't know about a glass door, but I mean, if you want your fireplace to be used and be legal no matter what happens with the regulations, which, you know, we're council now, there'll be another council after us. I mean, if I were you, I would go the way that the stats are in Montreal, because that's what you're going to be able to purchase.
Okay.
Yeah.
My second question is any update on how the recreation center construction is going?
If I can just give a little brief update on that. We haven't had any surprises yet, Mr. Knowles. So things are still progressing. It's a little bit slower in the winter because they have to, you know, when they're pouring cement, you know this, they have to warm the cement and let it cure properly. But we haven't seen any major surprises yet. So things are progressing, I would say, relatively normally. Because they got started later, is there going to be a further delay down the line? Don't know that answer yet. It's still early in the process, but no major surprises as of yet.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, folks? Okay.
Hi, Louise Genevieve. So my question is about.
Miss
garden-
Schindler, can you just state your address for the file, please?
Well, he's got it, I wrote it down.
Can you state it down, please?
No.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry. It's for the recording. It's for the recording.
So, it's pertaining to, gardening in about 2011. I'm addressing it to Elizabeth Hewlin, because I think she had the file at the time. For the water barrels, 2011 or something like that.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, Louise.
In around 2011, you guys, the town offered water barrels for purchase. I purchased 2 of them
Oh,
at the
water
time.
pitchers. You're
Water barrels. like
Oh,
120
rain barrels.
Rain barrels,
Okay.
yeah.
In the past, we did have a program where we offered rain barrels, that's correct.
Right.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly around. I was wondering if parts are available or could be ordered.
You're asking if we would do that again?
No, I'm asking if parts of these items can be purchased or ordered.
If parts, some replacement parts for the barrels. if
Oh,
you would do-
we don't have any replacement parts. You'd have to get them from the manufacturer of the unit, I suppose.
It's in Greece. It's LS Plastics. I took a photograph of what says on the side of the barrel. And if you Google it, it's in Greece. So
I don't think we can help you there. That would have been something that we provided, like I say,
No.
about 10 years ago. So it would be up to you to find out where you could get parts for that.
No, but do you know where you got it? They're distributed in Montreal, or I don't know. I mean, this is all Greek, like what I checked online. It's not in Montreal as far as I can see.
Yeah, I don't have any information for you. I'm sorry.
Can you look into it, or no? No?
Okay, so we'll move to questions that were, oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Nice try. Cynthia Nichols, 25 Westminster South. I don't care about Facebook and the horrible trolls. What could they possibly do at this point, right? You've done it all. We've got another water leak. I saw the town worker out there fixing this hydrant that's been leaking across the way. That was the original catch that started the original sinkhole all those many years ago that I was one day late to report to the town for. So I'm wondering, am I going to end up with another problem again here? The water is still not right. I met with the master plumber about a week ago or so, and he was turning off the neighbors' plumbing because they now had a leak. And I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, this is not just me anymore. It's spreading to the neighbors as well with young children. Can't do that, guys. No matter how many, I don't know, condo development projects you want to put, you've got to pay the right price. You cannot continually push us out like that. We've got a truck that parks in front of my house. We see footprints coming from the truck door over my garden, up to my friggin' stairs. And I would imagine they've got the combination and they're getting in the house. We've got people scurrying up and down the fireplace access chamber. We've got people, I don't know who they are. I'm told by the police that if I try to stop them and if they get hurt, I can be held responsible. I've called them so many times. I don't know what to do at this point. Town is not helping. No matter how much you want this property, you cannot go about getting it the way you have been. I don't know what else to say at this point, but it's exhausting, don't you think?
Do you have a question, Cynthia?
The question is, when will you be ethical in your manner with some of the machinations, if nothing else? And it's a horrible word to use, but I can't think, I'm beyond speechless for this. It's causing so much. I mean, they broke the window. They got in again. I mean, I boarded the thing up. They broke it down, took the plastic, everything, and they got in. And you see the two ladder marks.
It sounds like you have a police matter, Cynthia, not
It's
one for
beyond
council.
police.
Well,
It's
beyond police
beyond-
is not here. This is not beyond police.
Fine. Fine. I believe they are working on it. But they're not telling me about it, and I'm dealing with it. So, there's that, and there's the water. Am I gonna have problems again? Am I gonna end up with, I mean, all of the soil, the topsoil, has run completely off. I have put so many layers of topsoil over the years. All the roots are all exposed again.
So in terms of the water that you see with at the fire hydrant over here, that's a temporary water that's being supplied to the building across the street while they're purging the pipes that they put in. So I think that's probably another week or so that the temporary pipe should be there. And you're right, there is a little leak. I noticed it the other day.
Okay, good.
From the top of the fire hydrant. It made a little icicle there. Yeah, so that's my guess is that's probably another week to 10 days, something along those lines, while they're testing their piping, the new piping that went in to connect to city water.
So we're not gonna have problems in the spring?
This should be gone fairly soon.
And you're gonna bring me some dirt to cover my roots?
No, this has got nothing to do with the dirt on the roots.
Sure it does over the years.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, so we're going to move, I think we've got everybody in the room. So we're going to move now to the questions that were submitted online. First question comes from Sharon McCary, 166 Northview. Would the town reconsider erecting a fencing for a dog run along the permanent fencing erecting for the park spaces for the public works employee in the field besides the tennis court? This is not only important for the many, many citizens with dogs, but it is also an important way for the owners to socialize. If we can prioritize outdoor skating rink for families, why can't we offer something for people who walk their dogs 3 times a day? The usage outweighs that of a skating rink. Best regards, Sharon. Councillor Lauren Small-Pennefather, please.
Thank you for your question, Sharon. As you know, this is a same question that's been asked several times. Also a very hot topic on Facebook. And as you're aware, that land you're referring to is actually not town land, but belongs to the English Montreal School Board. And the English Montreal School Board, which is part of Elizabeth Ballantyne School, uses that part of the field as well when their students go out for recess. So it's not something that would really be conducive for a dog run. The town has several times looked at various options. We simply don't have land like we did when before the construction of the recreation center happened. I just want to remind everybody that we do have a beautiful dog run next to Town Hall that is open. It is closed for maintenance a couple of days a week, a couple of hours a week, I believe on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But unfortunately, we can't use the land next to on Percival Field that you're referencing. So that's the current status of an additional dog run or a temporary additional dog run for this year. Sorry, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Small-Pennefather. Next question comes from André Lavoie, 217 Percival. J'habite la rue Percival au nord de la rue Nelson, où se trouve Little Red Playhouse et Elizabeth Ballantyne School. Comme les parents y déposent leur enfant aux environs de 9 heures et les reprennent aux environs 15 heures, le trafic est accru et nous remarquons plusieurs excès de vitesse de la part des parents. Avez-vous considéré de faire une étude de trafic incluant un radar pour mesurer la vitesse afin de dresser un portrait fiable de la situation afin de trouver une solution éventuellement? Merci. Conseillère Small-Pennefather, s'il vous plaît.
Merci beaucoup pour votre question, Monsieur Lavoie. Concernant l'école Elizabeth Valentine, c'est très fort possible avec la grève, avec les bus scolaires, qu'il y avait beaucoup plus de circulation sur Percival que d'habitude. Mais je vais porter ça à l'intention de la comité pour la sécurité à Montréal-Ouest, puis on va regarder si c'est possible de faire une étude de circulation sur Percival. Merci beaucoup pour votre question.
Merci, la conseillère du Small-Pennefather. Prochaine question vient de Marie-Claude Messier, 309 Ronald. Bonjour. Des arbustes poussent entre le trottoir et le muret des résidences sur la rue Avon entre Ronald et Westminster. Ils nuisent à la circulation piétonnière puisque les branches sont au-dessus du trottoir. Elles risquent de frapper le visage, d'en gratigner et des branches mortes risquent de causer des chutes. Est-ce que la ville peut intervenir en coupant les arbustes, en les taillant ou en demandant aux propriétaires de le faire, le cas échéant? Merci, Marie-Claude. Conseillère Torres, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, merci, Madame Messier, pour votre question. On a pris note de ce problème ici et avons demandé au département pour les remédier. On a demandé les départements des travaux publics jusqu'en cas les arbustes sont sur les domaines publics. Sinon, ce sera le département d'urbanisme qui va parler avec les propriétaires de cette maison-là, de ce terrain, pour les remédier. Merci.
Merci pour votre question. Next question comes from Susan Elgie and Michael Schreiner, 337 Brock North. We are concerned about the limited visibility for both drivers and pedestrians at the east side of the Westminster-Milner intersection. We suggest that 3 parking spots, the 2 on either side of the crosswalks and the 1 between them, be removed. Thank you, Susan and Michael. Councillor Small-Pennefather, please.
Thank you very much for your question, Ms. Elgie and Mr. Schreiner. Yes, that intersection where there is a crosswalk on both the south side and north side of Milner, we've recognized that as well in the Community Security Council, and it's something that we're going to be looking at. It's on our notes for Westminster. We have a number of interventions that we're looking at to make Westminster safer for pedestrians. That is one that we've flagged. So we'll certainly be getting back with regards to any kind of decisions that are taken with regards to the particular sidewalk. I know exactly where you're speaking of, and again, it's on our list on that committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your question. Next question comes from Kevin Aladdin, 59 Courtney. 1, just a concern, the traffic light next to the northeast corner of Westminster is angled just enough that when the light gives the advanced go for cars on Bryn Mawr, some people coming up the hill on Avon think that the light is for them. I have seen and been involved in several near misses at that corner. As there are currently no pedestrian traffic allowed in front of the Eastern, can the light be covered up to avoid any issues? And second, can we get an update on the small water work on Westminster near Town Hall? Councillor Small-Pennefather, if you could take the first part of the question,
Sure.
please.
Thank you for your question, Kevin. You are correct. I don't know when the last time you traveled in that sector of town, but there has been an adjustment made to the traffic light, and we're currently looking at if a further adjustment needs to be made. But there has been, you're correct, there was an issue with it being not completely centered, and now that it's been corrected, we'll check to see if there needs to be an additional correction. But thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you very much. And for the second question, it was the same thing I just answered to the resident in the room. There is a temporary pipe providing water to the building across the street. That's until they finish their work purging the line and sanitizing and testing the new pipe that's been put in. So as I said to the resident in the room, I think it's a question of 7 to 10 days, something along those lines, until that is removed. Thank you for your questions. Next question comes from Maria Macheris, 53 Ballantyne Avenue North. Good evening. The horrible and unsafe condition of our roads and sidewalks is reaching a critical point. Residents have been questioning the council, and all we get are political answers. How hard is the town working to secure these grants you keep speaking of? And is the town actually earmarking funds for repairs, or just waiting for these grants to come in, if they do at all? We need firm commitments and explanations from the council tonight, and not we'll get back to you because you never do. We need action. Councillor Yulin, please.
Sure, I'll take part of this. Thanks for your question, Maria, and then I'll hand off to Councillor Feeney, who has maybe some more information for you. Well, I should let you know that we do constantly look for grants and generally get them. In fact, we've been spending about $1.5 million every year for the last over 10 years on our streets, in addition to grant money that comes in for all of those projects. So we are regularly getting grants and regularly spending in our own budget for the streets and sidewalks. This year alone, we have $125,000 in the budget for sidewalks, and we should be doing a little part of Avon when the Easton is done this year, we hope, as well. I'll hand it over to Councillor Feeney, maybe to give you a little bit more detail in the granting situation, but these answers aren't political. These answers are what's really happening, and we do regularly invest in infrastructure, and we'll continue to do so. Thanks for your question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Yulin, and thank you for your question, Maria. Yeah, it is interesting. As Councillor Yulin mentioned, we have been very fortunate in getting a lot of grants in the past, which have allowed us to actually invest tens of millions of dollars in our streets in the past, 10, 15 years. We will continue to do so. The pace may not be exactly the same because I don't think the grants are there exactly the same, to be very honest. We do have already, we've secured a $2.4 million tech grant, which is good for the years 24, 25, 26. That's spread over those 3 years. So we do have that one, and I can tell you that I honestly look every day at the flyer from the UMQ that comes through to see what new grants are offered, and I would occasionally see something new come up, but in the past little while there has been nothing. Perhaps it is that the provincial and federal governments have a lot of debt on their own and a lot of other commitments on their own. They don't seem to be offering as many grants, and as we know, it certainly makes a lot of sense to do the roads when we can get a grant for anywhere from 30 to 60%. And that's good use of our taxpayers' money when we can have it subsidized like that. So we will continue to look at grants. We already have that one, and it is an important thing for the town, and so we will be moving forward. But I can't tell you exactly, except for what Councillor Yulin said we're going to be doing. We do have plans for 25 and 26, which were in our 3-year infrastructure plan, which I presented in the budget, and that looks at doing Courtney and Avon. So that's in the future, but just rest assured, we keep our eyes open. Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you very much, Councillors Yulin and Feeney. Next question comes from Kevin McDonald, 28 Fairfield. My concern is lighting at the new arena work site that extends beyond into residents' homes. Maitre Destasio is currently addressing an issue with one floodlight that still needs attention. Any new lighting before installation should be checked so as to not cause an intense glare into residents' windows. Thank you. Mr. McDonald, we agree with you. So we are stressing with the contractor that any time a new light is to be put up, whether it's there on a timer or motion activated or whatever, they need to make sure that it's not causing problems with the residents that are living on Bedbrook or the ones living behind the site like you are on Fairfield. Thank you for your question. Next question comes from Jennifer Melnick, 140 Ballantyne South. Hello, my question is about the snow removal or lack of for pedestrians at the level crossing on Westminster. Why is this never cleared or salted? Who is responsible for cleaning? It's difficult to walk there as an able-bodied adult. I can only imagine the difficulty for mobility-reduced individuals. Thank you. Councillor Yulin, please.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer, for your question. You're absolutely right. That is the cleaning there is dismal. It actually is CP's territory, and they don't allow us to clear it. And we've complained bitterly to them because you're right, that section of the road is awful for pedestrians, adults and children, and as you say, people with reduced mobility. So we continue to complain about that, and I understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, they won't let us touch that territory on the tracks, so we can't do it. I appreciate your complaining to us here, and we can complain to them again, but we do regularly. And sometimes they come and clear it, and sometimes it is as it is now, and it's not in great shape. Yeah, I'm sorry that's the way it is, but that's the situation. Thanks for your question.
Thank you, Councillor Yulin. And just to add something, they even get mad at us when we try and put salt there. We've done it in the past. We don't do it anymore. They complain that the salt gets into the tracks and could affect the mechanisms, the switching mechanisms and things along those lines. So they're very, very particular about anything. So they don't allow us to touch anything between the barriers. So thank you very much for your question. And last question comes from Lisa Astley, 24 Crestwood. Hello, Mr. Mayor and Town Councillors. The after-school pickup at Edinburgh is dangerous. There are cars parked on both sides of the roads around the school. There is as well cars that are double parked on the side streets. There are children walking alone, as well as children walking with guardians weaving through the parked cars. The situation is dangerous to the children. As cars attempt to drive through the area, the situation becomes even more dangerous. Councillor Small-Pennefather, please.
Thank you for your question, Ms. Astley. I have met with Principal Sifoni at Edinburgh at the beginning of the school year, and this was something, of course, we discussed about school safety. It is a concern. We actually, if you had listened to my report earlier as well, there was a comment there about having increased public security there. I know that the SPVM has been there as well. We also know because of the strike, there was a lot of increased vehicular traffic because the school buses were on strike. So we're hoping that working together with the school, working together with PSO and SPVM, we'll be able to curtail some of the traffic concerns that you have. Again, thank you very much for your question.
Thank you very much, Councillor Small-Pennefather. That's the end of question period. We're going to return now to the regular agenda. Contracts in the Town Clerk's Office. Date de la séance ordinaire du conseil en septembre 2023. Modification. Just to let people know, we have to change that. We had scheduled a council meeting on September 30th. That's the day of Truth and Reconciliation. So we wanted to move it. We're moving it to Tuesday, October 1st. So, je peux avoir quelqu'un pour proposer la modification, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, Monsieur le maire, je propose que la résolution 2023-1030-004 concernant le calendrier des séances ordinaires du Conseil en 2023 soit modifiée pour déplacer la séance de 30 septembre au 1er octobre. Qu'un avis paraisse dans le Suburban pour informer la population de ce changement, ainsi que dans le site Internet et à l'hôtel de ville.
Merci, la conseillère Small-Pennefather. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, je l'appuie.
Merci, la conseillère Fini. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Oui.
Parfait, merci. Authorization of signature for an agreement with Eco-Entreprise Québec, EEQ.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, whereas the Town Council of Montreal-West approved an intermunicipal agreement with the municipalities Baie-D'Urfé, Hampstead, Montreal-East, and Centerville by virtue of Resolution 2024-0109-006 relating to the signature of an agreement with EEQ, whereas the town also accepted its designation by virtue of the same resolution as signatory body of the said agreement with EEQ on behalf of Montreal-West as well as the other municipalities, whereas EEQ requested that this agreement be signed by January 21st, 2024, but has not been provided a final version at this point. Therefore, I move that the Director General of Montreal-West, Maitre Raphael Destasio, be authorized to sign the agreement with the EEQ on behalf of the town as signatory body mandated by the other municipalities, provided that a majority of the members of the steering committee set up in the intermunicipal agreement accept its provisions.
Thank you very much. Councillor Yulin, can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I second that.
Thank you very much. Councillor Fini, all in favor, please.
Aye.
And just to say that the EEQ, for those listening, is a body that's going to be dealing with the recycling island-wide, so that has to do with the new recycling system that's coming into force in the future.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yulin. We're moving on to Administration and Finances. Approval of disbursements for December 15th, 2023 to January 19th, 2024.
Yes, I move that the list of accounts payable from December 15th, 2023 to January 19th, 2024, totaling $837,522.75 be approved and paid as listed.
Thank you very much. Councillor Feeney, can I have a seconder, please?
I second that.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yulin. All in favor, please.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Délégation des pouvoirs pour le mois de décembre 2023 et janvier 2024.
Oui, je propose que soit approuvé le rapport de la directrice générale concernant l'exercice des pouvoirs délégués en vertu du règlement numéro 2005-002 pour le mois de décembre 2023 et janvier 2024.
Merci, la conseillère Yulin. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît?
Oui, je l'appuie, Monsieur le maire.
Merci, la conseillère Small-Pennefather. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît?
Oui.
Oui.
Parfait, merci. Purchase contract for 3 photocopiers. Right now, we are renting these photocopiers, and they've done the evaluation that it's less expensive for us to purchase them instead of re-renting them again.
Okay, whereas there are 3 photocopiers at the Community Center, the Library, and the Office of Public Works Department, which have been rented since 2019, whereas the Treasurer has requested 2 quotations from the current supplier, and it is deemed less costly to replace them by purchasing rather than renting new ones. Therefore, I move that the Town of Montreal-West agree to the terms of purchase contract with Ricoh Canada, Inc., for 3 photocopiers, model IMC4510. Secondly, that the total price be $14,545.18, not including taxes, plus copy costs per unit, under a 60-month service contract. 3, that the Treasurer be authorized to sign any necessary documents for the purpose of this resolution. And 4, that the purchase be charged to budget codes 02-920-70-725 in monetary value $9,696.12 and 02-920-10-725. The amount here is $4,849.06, and that these amounts be transferred from budget code 02-916-10-840.
Thank you very much, Councillor Yulin. Can I have a seconder, please?
I second it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Torres. All in favor, please?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Art, et cetera. Before we make this resolution, I just want to note that Councillor Yulin abstained from voting in our discussions after she declared that she has an interest in the matter.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I move, first, that Council agree to rent the Assembly Hall on the occasion of the Arts and Crafts Fair that will take place during 3 days in November 2024 for a bulk discount amount of $3,419.70, taxes included, plus a fee of $114.98, taxes included, for a sign space and a reimbursable deposit of $500 to secure the reservation, in consideration of a total of 23 hours and a half for rental of the event, setup and cleanup, and to keep with the other terms and conditions of the previous agreement in effect. Secondly, that the deposit and an advance payment of $500 in the rental amount be payable upon signing the agreement, followed by a payment of $1,209.85 no later than May 1st, 2024, and the balance of $1,709.85 plus the fee for sign space to be paid no later than August 1st, 2024.
Thank you very much. Councillor Feeney, can I have a seconder, please?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Councillor Small-Pennefather. All in favor, please?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Updated tariff proposals, building rental fees.
I moved that revised tariffs be charged for the following services, including taxes unless otherwise indicated. Recreation and community services, rental of halls and recreation facilities, town hall, music room, and assembly hall, including kitchen facilities. $80 per hour for residents during normal days. Hours of operation, a minimum of 2 hours of operation, plus $70 per hour outside normal days. Hours of operation, minimum 4 hours. $110 per hour for non-residents during normal days, a minimum of 2 hours of operation, plus $90 per hour outside normal days, a minimum of 4 hours of operation. At the John Sims Community Center for birthday parties, $30 per hour for residents and $35 per hour for non-residents for a minimum of 2 hours, from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. during weekdays. $45 per hour for residents and $55 per hour for non-residents for a minimum of 3 hours after 4:30 p.m. on weekends or anytime on weekends. No, on weekdays or anytime on weekends. Sorry about that. At Davis Park Chalet, birthday parties for children under 5 years old, $45 an hour per hour for residents and $55 per hour for non-residents for a minimum of 3 hours, excluding kitchen facilities.
Thank you very much. Councillor Torres, can I have a seconder, please?
Yes, I second that.
Thank you very much. Councillor Feeney, all in favor, please.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Moving on to Urban Department, Site Planning Projects and Architectural Integration Program, SPAIP.
I move to acknowledge receipt of the minutes of a meeting held by the Planning Advisory Committee, PAC, on January 17th, 2024. To approve with conditions under the SPAIP the following plans submitted to this meeting in accordance with the recommendations of the PAC as outlined in the minutes. 229 Percival, replacement of 19 windows. 162 Bedbrook, replacement of the garage door. To defer the examination of the following plans to a next meeting of this council in accordance with the recommendations of the PAC as outlined in the minutes. 63 Westminster North, replacement of 8 window units.
Thank you very much. Councillor Torres, can I have a seconder, please?
I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Councillor Small-Pennefather, all in favor, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Public Works, Human Resources, Appointments, Deposit of Documents. We're moving right on to Notice of Motion, Reading, and Adoption of Bylaws. I further to the Notice of Motion that was given at the meeting of Council held on October 30th, I hereby table a draft version of bylaw modifying bylaw 2009-013 concerning the collection and disposal of garbage, green waste, and recyclable materials. And secondly, notice of motion. I hereby give notice of motion that it is intended at a subsequent meeting of council to submit for adoption a bylaw creating a garbage bins rebate program. A draft bylaw will be made available to the public at a subsequent meeting of council and at least 2 days before the meeting when it's scheduled to be adopted. So we're moving on now on to the second question period. The second question period is open for questions pertaining strictly to things that were on the agenda this evening.
Cynthia Nichols, 25 Westminster South. You spoke about path. I met Vlad the other day, and I asked him about the condo project. It's been 4.5, almost 5 years now that we have gone through the most remarkable destruction that any citizen, resident, person should have gone through. So I'm just wondering, does anyone know? He said he couldn't disclose when the project would be over. He said it was not his job to say when, I mean, he's the inspector. I would imagine he would have that information, and I couldn't understand why he wouldn't say. But so perhaps you could let us know.
I haven't heard anything in particular, Ms. Nichols, not from the contractor themselves. I was speaking to one of my neighbors whose parents happened to buy a unit over there, and they were told the middle of April that unit will be delivered to them. So if that kind of gives you a little bit of a guideline. I haven't heard anything like official from the contractor.
So the trucks will all be gone from my house, is that it?
Listen, let's see it delivered. But that's what I was told from my neighbor whose parents have a unit across the street.
That sounds fabulous.
Okay.
The second question has to do with why? I mean, I have refinanced. I've got the money sitting in the bank, but why on earth would I do any repairs until all of this is finished? I received through Vlad a report that was made by the PAC on my property. Now, I would have imagined it would have been polite to ask, but why would I do any repairs until this is done with? Why would it submit to do any repairs? It doesn't make sense.
It's especially
since it's going to be another 4 months.
Okay, apparently from what I'm being told, Ms. Nichols, it's got to do with the integrity of the building itself to comply with the bylaws. And it's not just...
it's 4.5 years, or close to 5, that I've undergone this.
Yeah, it's like really it's a question of security. Mind you, your question isn't even something that should have been brought up now. It could have been brought up in the first question period.
So, but
It's got nothing to do with that particular issue that was brought up in PAC. Maria?
No, one of the things, as I said before, this is the perfect time to start asking those questions if you received a letter, because there's a problem with the...
I received a letter, that's the whole point. This was done completely without my permission or knowledge.
No, you said that they asked you to do repairs?
I was given the information by Vlad.
He does have the ability, he does have the power to inspect buildings.
I did not receive the report from him, is what I'm saying.
So you can, yes.
Went ahead and did this
So
without notifying me.
No, the town hasn't done anything. We haven't done anything. We cannot touch your house. The only thing we can do is to send you a letter stating... Okay, so talk to Vlad again and ask him where the letter is, where he is questioning the integrity of your house.
And my response to you is that if this project is going to be done in April, then in April, after everything I've gone through, in April, once this project at the condo development is over, we will submit to repair.
No,
the
it's,
repairs
yeah.
that need to be done.
Like-
Yeah.
And there's no way I'm going to spend that money and then have some bloody truck come along and ruin things again.
Okay.
It doesn't make
No.
sense.
Anyway,
That's what I-
you'll take that offline. You'll take it offline.
Yeah,
now.
that's right.
Thank you very much. Can I have somebody move to end the meeting, please?
Oui, je propose de lever la séance.
Merci, la conseillère Yulin. Je peux avoir l'appui, s'il vous plaît?
Je l'appuie.
Merci, la conseillère Torres. Tout en faveur, s'il vous plaît.
Oui.
Merci. Thank you very much, folks.